Hello, West Haven third graders. I am here to do a read aloud and a discovery vocabulary lesson with you, and it'll be from the book Water Dance by Thomas Locker. And of course, I'm Miss Jones. Okay, so our standards for today are reading literature 3.4, determine the meaning of words and phrases as they are used in a text, distinguish literal from non-literal language, and reading literature 3.2, recount stories including fables, tales, folk tales, and myths from diverse cultures, determine the central message, lesson, or moral, and explain how it is conveyed through key details in the text. Now, for this particular activity, we won't be covering every part of the standard, but our know and show will kind of tell you which way we're going with this lesson. So, our know is the first part that's underlined and highlighted in red, meaning of words. And of course, that just simply means what's meant, what is meant. The next word, phrases. And of course, that's a group of words that stand together. And we have a story. And of course, the story is this book here, which is called The Water Dance. And of course, it's primarily in a poem form, okay? And we will be looking at the central message, which is the big idea that the author wants you to take away from reading. Now, our show, that's the actions that we're going to take, and of course they're circled and written in green. And of course, once again, I told you we're not covering all of the standards in its entirety, only parts of. And so those three actions will be to determine, which means to decide, and recount means to retell or to summarize, and explain means to determine or to give a reason. So these are the actions that we're going to take in order to show. How are we going to do that? Well, that's kind of like, how are we going to be assessed? Well, we'll be doing hand and body movements, and we will have some text-dependent questions to answer, okay? And so that's how we will be assessed. That's how I'll know if you know and learned what we were supposed to learn in the lesson. Now, our I can statement or I can statements are, I can determine the meaning of a word or a phrase in a text. Say that with me. I can determine the meaning of a word or a phrase in a text. The second I can statement is, I can determine the central message of Water Dance. And remember that central message means the big idea that the author wants me to take away from reading The Water Dance. The author is going, well, not the author of the text, but of course the narrator is going to read the book for you. And I placed this here so that you can pause the video and go back and look at parts that you might need to see, and then also you'll be able to see where I got the video from. Okay.
Good evening, and welcome to another bedtime story by www.finishnars.com. Tonight we present you with Water Dance, narrated again by Darth Dracul. Some people say that I am one thing. Others say that I am many. Ever since the world began, I've been moving in an endless circle. Sometimes I fall from the sky. I am the rain. Sometimes I cascade. I tumble down, down, over the moss-covered rocks, through the forest shadows. I am the mountain stream. At the foot of the mountains, I leap from a stone cliff, spiraling, plunging. I am the waterfall. In the shadows of the mountain, I am still in deep. I fill and overflow. I am the lake. I wind through broad golden valleys, joined by streams, joined by creeks. I grow ever wider, broader, and deeper. I am the river. I pass through a gateway of high stone palisades, leaving the land behind. Cool silver moonlight sparkles and dances on my waves. I am the sea. Drawn upward by warm sunlight, white silver veils, I rise into the air. I disappear. I am the mist. In thousands of shapes I reappear, high above the earth and the blue sky. I float, I drift. I am the clouds. Carried by winds from distant seas, I move, growing heavier, growing darker, returning. I am the storm front. At the wall of the mountains, I rise up, as gleaming power-filled towers in the darkened sky. I am the thunderhead. I blind the sky with lightning. The earth trembles with my thunder. I rage. I drench the mountainside. I am the storm. Storms come, storms pass. I am countless droplets of rain left floating in the silent air. I reflect all the colors of sunlight. I am the rainbow. I am one thing. I am many things. I am water. This is my dance through our world. Thank you so much for tuning in again tonight with www.planetschnars.com and another bedtime story. We hope you enjoyed it. Please tune back in with us for some more good stuff like this.
Okay. So now I want to go to the vocabulary part, because once again we're supposed to be determining the meaning of some of the words that are in the text. And of course what I've done is I'm displaying the picture because this is the source that we're going to use in order to determine the meaning of the words. Okay, let's see. All right, so now the first page that we're going to is page 3, which the word that we're looking at is the word cascade. And I don't know if you can see this very clearly or not, but this is the text. Yeah, it's kind of faded. It says, sometimes I cascade, I tumble down, 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 over oh goodness, I'm having a difficult time seeing this. Over the moss-covered rocks, through the forest shadows, I am the mountain stream. So now we're looking at the word cascade. Okay? And so I'm looking at the image and I see the water traveling through, and I'm thinking I see it curving and moving kind of fast. So I think the word cascade means to pour down kind of rapidly and in large quantities. Okay, and I gather that just from looking at the source that we have in front of us, which of course is the picture next to the text that we just read. Right? So here's the next photograph, and it is on page 5, and the word is plunging. And I'm not going to try to show the text because it's kind of difficult. It says, at the foot of the mountains, I leap from a stone cliff, spiraling, plunging. I am the waterfall. Okay, so I'm looking here, and I'm looking at the source we have, and I see here is the waterfall, and it looks like it's kind of pouring down, right? So I'm thinking plunging means to kind of pour down, to move rapidly, to push or thrusting quickly down as it falls. Okay. So now the next picture we have, it shows probably an ocean side, or actually, yeah, the ocean side, and on both sides we see sort of mountains or cliffs, and the water is between it, and the text reads, I passed through a gateway of high stone palisades, leaving the land behind. Cool silver moonlight sparkles and dances on my waves. I am the sea. Let's see, palisades. That's a difficult one, right? And like I said, I see the mountains and the cliffs, but I'm not exactly sure. Well, let's see. I see the water, and it's leaving from inland and traveling out into the water. So I'm thinking the Palisades has something to do with the cliffs on the side, right? Okay, so the high lines, and let's look at this. And I'm thinking, and hopefully you can see my mouse. So this must be this area on this side, and passing on this side are the high lines of the cliffs. Okay, all right, so let's look at the next one. Okay, veils. Now this time, this is what I want you to do. I want you to look at the source that we have, and I'm going to read it to you. And this time I need you with your parents to kind of look at the picture and listen as I read the words of the text. Drawn upward by warm sunlight in white silver veils, I rise into the air. I disappear. I am the mist. So now, talk with your parents about what you think the word veils means in this particular text. Okay, bring it back. Bring it back. It's time to bring it back. Grab a friend, bring them in, and let the learning begin. So let's see if you came up with what I said veil means according to the text. Covers. Did you see that? Did you see how the mist covers the sky? As it appears that it's covering really most of the sky. You got your dark clouds here, but then you kind of see the white, whimsical pieces of mist in this particular source. Okay? So now, here's your turn. Now, this is what I would like for you to do. I'd like for you to write these 4 words down, which is reappear, returning, gleaming, and drenched. I'd like for you to review the video and then pause it where you need to, and then tell me what those words mean. You can do it with movement, and then you can also write them down. And do it with your parents. Have them sit with you and kind of go through each of those words in the video. And I want you to post your responses on Class Dojo. And then by Friday, I'll post what each of those words means as they were used in the text.